Okay, so let's start bringing some assets into our scene. Now what I've done, let me just get rid of this and do this with you. What we need to do is start bringing assets into our project. So at the minute all we've got is a scene in our project, which is what we're looking at. We need to bring assets in here. So let's go to the folder that contained all of our assets. So that was in, so messy. That's it. Right, so these were the assets I created in Photoshop: the sky, clouds, fog, sky top. If you find those, so you've got those, your folder open, all of your assets, and then you can copy all of these into your Unity level. Now the way you can do that lots of ways. You can go to find the actual folder, so mine's called example tutorial, and you can just go to the assets folder and paste them in, and then if we click on Unity, look what happens. There we go, so you can see they're in there now. You can be simple as have the folder here and just drag them in, or if you've got the folder, you can just drag that folder in and it will do it that way as well. Also, if you go to assets, import import new asset, and you can do it that way. You can drag things in and do whatever you like. So there's lots of ways you can do it. As well, if to keep things tidy in your assets folder, if you right click, create folder, and you can start labeling things up and keep it neater. So I'll call it background, and then we can select these and just put them into the background folder. So I'm holding down shift to select multiple, and then all of my background is in there, my scene's there, and I can have lots of folders, keep it nice and neat. Okay, so let's get the background in here. Very simple. You just drag this either into here or into your hierarchy, and it will appear in your scene. So if we drop that in now, and you can see over here we've got background sky. Let's play the game, see what happens. There we go, so we've got our sky in the scene. Very easy. Right, Sprite Renderer. Now we're going to start having a look at what's happening here. It's really important that the Sprite Renderer is the piece of programming, the script that is telling Unity where to, how to place this in the scene. That's quite important because we can start using these things, sort in layer and order in layer, to rearrange things in the scene. Okay, let's load in some more and see what happens. So if I do fog, let's load the fog in and put it in. Okay, we've got two elements in there now, and when I click on these different things, look on the right hand side, look at the inspector. So we're looking at different things. Can you see that position is changing, obviously, because those two things are in different places. We position them in different areas, and the sprite renderer is changing because obviously one is the fog and one's the background. Right. Basic controls for moving around and editing. If you hold down Alt and click and drag, you can move around your area. You can zoom in and out with the right mouse button, so you get a huge level. And that is all you need really to move around. Okay, so left mouse button with Alt to drag, right mouse button to zoom in and out. Okay, very simple. Let's say we want to move some of these objects. I want to move my background, for example. Now you can use these shortcuts up here, but the quicker way to do it is start using the shortcut. So if I click on the move tool, the shortcut for that is W. The rotate tool, so if I want to rotate my sky, the shortcut for that is E. And if I want to scale my sky, make it bigger or larger, it's R. So W, E, R, W, E, R, and you can move between those tools. So the way the tools work is that you can grab the handles, or you can grab this box in the middle and position it where you want. It works by, let's say I want to move the fog, you can do that. you can click on the two different things and move them separately, or you can select them in here and move it that way. And sometimes in 2D games, because you're working with lots of small assets, it's easier to select them on here and then move them on here. So let's scale it up maybe. We want to make the frog really big, we can do that, or we can shrink it down. Just remember, don't oversize things too much, you don't want to make them too big, or else you'll start to get pixelation and it will look pixelated. Or E to rotate it, and you're just dragging this and you can see you can rotate things if you want. When I'm doing this, can you have a look over here? You see it, all the values are changing. So it's worth remembering that you can do it on here if you like. So if you want to like drag things across, you can do it up there too. Okay, cool. So I'm going to just do all of these things. I'm going to put the clouds in there. I'm going to put the sky top in as well. And it's important to note, look at this white line. This is my camera, so this is what the camera can see. So I'm framing it up so all of my background layers are visible in the camera, and I can test it by hitting play. And there we go, we've got a nice busy background going on. Right, next video I'll start looking at sorting layer and ordering layer and seeing what happens.